We have a public announcement.
Okay.
Effective on November 1st, 2018, the USCIS will require applicants to submit Form I-693 report of medical examination and vaccination record that is signed by a civil surgeon no more than 60 days before filing the underlying application for immigration benefit. This applies to adjustment of status or application to register permanent residence. For our customers, you want to make sure that you complete that medical examination probably at the last stage, at the very last step, before you mail your petitions or your applications to us, because in most cases that medical examination is going to expire. They've changed this, as many of you know. The Department of State is scrutinizing applications more. They're changing rules. They're making the process a little bit tougher to get a green card, basically. But anyway, make sure you get the medical exam in right when you submit your paperwork so that it doesn't expire. You also give yourself enough time in case your application is rejected for incorrect payment amount or a check was returned from the bank. So you just want to make sure you give yourself a little room or buffer in that process.
Yeah, and I'll comment on that a little bit. For those of you who don't know who are starting the process, for all immigrant visa petitions and for the K-1, which is technically a non-immigrant visa petition, you're required to have a medical exam. So when you're in a foreign country, you're typically going to have that just before your interview. I don't expect anybody to have a problem there. Plus, that is the State Department looking at it, not the CIS. But the CIS says they want them to be not more than 60 days old. That generally, at least for the petition types that we do here, that generally means you're doing an adjustment of status. And the way that works is you go to a designated civil surgeon, and which is just a fancy term for a doctor who has been authorized to do these physical exams for immigration purposes. And you get this exam, and the doctor fills out this form called the I-693, and then they seal it in an envelope and they give it to you. And because it's sealed up in an envelope, if you send that to us, we don't necessarily know when it was signed, because the key is when it was signed. And so we're going to count on you, or if you're doing this yourself, you're going to need to be responsible to make sure that you do that not more than 60 days before the petition is filed. Now, the term filed, the date filed for the CIS, that means the date that they received it and accepted it. Doesn't mean the date you mailed it, and doesn't mean the date you mailed it to us. It's the date the CIS gets it. And while I'm on the topic of the 693, it's a common question people ask, what are they looking for in a physical exam? Well, looking at the form I-693 is a good way to see, because that's what the doctor actually fills out. It talks about syphilis and gonorrhea and tuberculosis and some other things. If you ever want to know what they're looking at in the medical exam, just go out to uscis.gov /forms or click the Forms tab. Find that form I-693 and take a look at it. Don't complete it. That's for a doctor. But by looking at it, you know what they're looking for. So a little bit about the medical exam. The other thing I'll say is that this is a new policy, a new alert they just sent out yesterday. Again, it's effective November 1, 2018, which is coming right up. Because it's new, we don't know, there's no further guidance right now on it. So if you submit a petition before that, you should be fine. They say effective November 1st, 2018. So if you've already submitted, I don't think you have to worry about it. But other than that, as far as details about when they will or won't make an exception, unfortunately, we don't know. They didn't issue any advance guidance on it. It's just something they dumped out basically at the last minute.
If you found this video useful, it would mean a lot to us if you could hit the like button and comment below to let us know what you think. You can also ask your own immigration questions in the comments below. If you want to make sure not to miss any of our future videos, we invite you to subscribe here on YouTube, and be sure to click the notification icon so you can be alerted whenever we publish a new video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, where you can watch our regular immigration Q&A live streams.